Hello and welcome to another Day Ticket Diary. And this time we're back down at Linear Fisheries. I've been here recently a couple of times, but this time joined by Mr. Ed Betteridge.
Hello.
So yeah, we've come down to Brasenose 1 and we're on swims 7 and 9, I think it is. So we've just got to decide who goes in which one.
Yep. Luckily they are next to each other, aren't they? Because 8's closed off. I think 8 was a swim, now it's not a swim.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to decide which one we're going in. I fished one before. About this time last year actually, I did a casting video on it if you want to check out in one of these corners wherever Ben wants to edit it.
Yeah.
So I know a couple of spots in that swim,
yeah.
but I think they're all productive along here. I think we've got access to a big sort of central section of the lake, which is kind of what you want, I think, on Brasenose, and there's been plenty of fish showing. Not necessarily that far out, have they?
No.
Some have been like 40, 50
yeah,
yards.
When we first sort of pulled up, they were shown straight away. So it's one of those where I think that one's going to be a bit more of a distance swim. So I'll probably opt for the other one. But yeah, we should see. We'll have a little let around and get organised, I guess.
Yep, suits me.
Hopefully get amongst them.
We can't blank.
Hopefully not. Right, so I've opted for swim 9 as we discussed before. It looks a bit more of a shorter range swim, so suits me a little bit, especially in this wind. So yes, I'm in here. I've got the rods out, as you can see. They're just at around 80 yards range at the moment, just on their own at the moment. Solid bag and sort of pop up and stuff. But yeah, gonna get some bait out and then hopefully get the fish grubbing.
Well, last time I was in this swim, I found a lovely little spot at 116 yards. Slightly to the right of the swim, but it's out there. I know I was having a good let around about 130, 135 in the centre, and it was a bit kind of sticky and soft and not very nice. But at 116 it cracked down, so just clipped the rod up to 116 straight away, banged it out there, cracked straight down. Dragged the lead back a little bit on the marker rod, and found this lovely bit of gravel. I've got one rod smack on that, and another rod either side of it, all just sitting in the line. Now either side is reasonably firm, but it's not gravel, so we'll see what happens. I've got probably about 2 kilo of bait out there at the minute. Normally on lakes like this I like to go a little bit heavier than that, I'll probably put about 3 or 4 kilo out. But a couple of people I've spoken to so far said it's not really fishing how it normally fishes down here. Both Brasenose 1 and Brasenose 2 are fishing a little bit slow. So I think what I'm going to do is just sit on 2 key, see if something happens. If I get a fish, just keep topping it up and go from there. Rather than just putting a load of bait out there when they're not really having it, I'd rather just keep the swim topped up and fish for a bite at a time. We'll see what happens.
The first night passed without anything to show on my rods. Early hours, about sort of 3:30 in the morning, I had what looked like I thought was a take, sort of went up tight, come out the clip, a couple of clicks on the reel, went out there, struck it, absolutely nothing, nothing had moved on the rig. So it's either a heavy liner or probably a trailer. And then, what was it, about 8 AM, I was in, sort of went up tight, come out the clip, big drop back, and sort of, fish on, and was thinking, it's only a small one, got it most of the way in, and then realised it was a bream. Quite a big bream, but I thought it was a small carp, but yeah, I didn't even know there was any bream in, B1, so a bit of a surprise when that one popped up, but it was a good size as well, like close to a double probably, but I looked in and that sort of slipped it back, it's not why we're here unfortunately, but yeah, apart from that, they've been active, there's been fish showing for sure, sort of out towards the middle bit to my left, and then in between me and Ed, sort of in the middle as well. And yeah, like I say, definitely active, but it's really slow. For this lake, you know, it can be very productive, as most people know, but the chap sort of near me, I've had a quick word with him and no one's catching on this side. We think someone on the other side may have had one last night, but birds causing chaos. Yeah, we think someone on the other side may have had one last night. Sort of head torches were on and you could see a few of them gather around, but literally not seeing a lot getting caught at all. So yeah, trying to scratch for a bite. Obviously for that reason I haven't been smashing the bait in. But the thing is, a lake like this, they could all of a sudden just switch on, but I've been trickling the bait in. Every sort of few hours I'm putting just a couple of more out there just to keep the traction going. The last time I put some bait in, it was just pure matching sort of boilie pellet, which is really fast breakdown. So it's just maximum traction, that's what I'm trying to sort of go for. But yeah, rods back out there, solid bags on the money, and just trying to fish well and hope that they sort of switch on, but yeah, we shall see. Well, they've been showing, as I said, just over me, well, just beyond me, just off to the left. The chap next door just lost one. I was just chatting with Ed, and we were literally putting the mic on thinking it's going to happen soon, and the right hand rod is tore off. I think this is the solid bag. Yeah, always does the deeds when things are desperate, the bag's for me. Hopefully we can coax him in. Bit of carnage really. It's absolutely gone round the middle rod. So Ed is trying to kindly sort me out, but it's not really going to plan.
Other way.
Yeah. Oh.
We off?
Yeah.
We're off.
Oh, good lad. There we go. Probably pick up the other one now.
Coming in. Has he moved it?
Probably. I'm going to redo it anyway.
Right, I'll put it down here anyway.
Right, we're off. So we've now got direct contact, which always feels a bit nicer.
We do the honours, sir, or if,
Yeah, of course. Oh. I feel a bad fish actually.
You're not?
Feels alright.
Is it 30?
Oh, imagine. That'd be a nice turnaround, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough going, huh?
Yeah, it's been very tough going.
What rig's this then, Ben?
I think this is a solid bag rod, so just classic sort of short 4-inch braided, yeah, soft braided hook length. Yeah, a little yellow wafter in there, bag of pellet and powders and all the rest of it.
Is that your go-to on these sort of day tickets then?
Yeah, 100%. As long as like the wind isn't too bad, I'm not fishing silly distance. I always have at least one bag out there. But now I've had this, I'll probably put 2 on bags, I would say. Sort of get onto that winning tactic and all that. Come on, go in that net. Go on. Yes. Happy days. One in the bag, hopefully. More to follow. It's the other advantage of little short bag rigs, 'cause it absolutely nails them. Bang in the middle. There he is then, just under 25 pound, and hopefully first of many, but if not, more than welcome in yeah, tough conditions. Like I say, it's fishing really slow, so yeah, to get one off, get off the mark. Very pleased to do so. Lovely. Ooh, nice one.
Well, Ben's just had one. Got his rod and the rod that had crossed over back on the spot, and my zig's away. Now, it's been a really frustrating 24 hours so far. I've had nothing at all over the bait, so I've switched one to zig. I put this out, what, 2.5 hours ago? Oh, I thought I'd lost it then. Put it out about 2.5 hours ago on a 10-foot zig, and there was fish all around the area, and I wasn't getting any bites at all, so I've just took 2 foot off it and put it back out again. So it's probably about 7.5 foot at the minute, and it's been out 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's gone. It's just slowly nodding its head and kiting to the right in some other lines, unfortunately, but hopefully I can just ease it in. Just hate playing fish on zigs, you have to be so careful. He doesn't feel very big at all at the minute, he's just nodding his head all the way and he's not really taking any line off me or done anything. Oh, he says, no, he just started taking a bit of line. I'll take it all back. Didn't see your face, did he, Ben?
Probably. It would explain it. Oh, he's alright actually.
Hey!
Lovely jubbly.
Oh, that's how to turn a blank around.
Yeah, within half an hour.
Yeah, it's a nice dark fish as well, isn't it?
Starburst scales.
Yeah, he's quite cool. Happy with him. Well, here she is. And believe it or not, it's pretty much exactly the same size as Ben's at 24.12. So 2 fish, one on a zig, one on a solid bag, about 10 minutes apart, but on different methods, and they weigh pretty much the same. So happy to get off the mark and happy to save a blank. It's not a bad little fish with, it's not a bad little fish with a few starburst scales near its tail. And she is quite lively, so I'll have one last look and get her back. See if we can catch another one. Well, it's been a really slow 24 hours. I went to bed last night feeling quite confident of a bite, and something did happen on my right hand rod about 1 o'clock in the morning. It absolutely ripped off. By the time I got my shoes on and down to the rod, it literally just stopped just as I got here. Picked the rod up anyway and there was just nothing there. I don't know if that was a bit of an aborted take where I just bent into it and it just put a little bit too much pressure on a light hook hold and it came out, or if it was a fish trailing line or what, I don't know, but that was my only occurrence. So I redid all 3 rods in the morning, just after about 7, 8 in the morning. Put a bit of extra bait out there, freshen the spots up, and nothing at all has happened. And then a couple of hours ago, I decided to take one rod off the baited area and drop it a bit short, put a fish about 50, 60 yards out, because there has been the odd fish just showing out there. Everything just changed about 2 hours ago, because the guy just up from Ben, he had a fish and lost a fish. Then there was a guy in Smith's just behind us, we heard some shouting, and I think his name was Ryan by all the what they were saying across there. It sounded like he had a big fish, so he had one. And then Ben picked up a fish, and then 10, 15 minutes later, I picked up a fish. So it was just that mad sort of 20-minute, half-hour period that the fish in this lake decided to come on the feed, and obviously a few fish in that lake decided to come on the feed. So it's quite weird that should happen at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon rather than around about dawn, which is normal bite time. So it's nice to get a couple of fish between me and Ben, because we're starting to worry a little bit. And we've got around about 24 hours left now to try and get a few more. So nothing's happened on my baited spot now. I've not seen a great deal out there this morning, but one has just shown somewhere in the vicinity. So I'm hoping one of the 2 rods that's still on the baited spot might go. but that zig is back out to where it was, so who knows, got another 24 hours, so let's hope we can sneak one. You won't believe this. I've had 2 rods on the baited spot pretty much since I've got here, and they've not done a great deal since early hours of this morning. I've just wound one in because a lot of fish are showing sort of 60 to 80 yards, and the idea was to drop one in short on top of these fish because nothing's showing out there to the centre, not since 2 hours ago since I did that last bit to camera. And then as soon as I wound one in, just wound the middle one in, this one pulled up tight and then just dropped all the way back. And I'm into a fish, but it's not really doing a great deal. It's just a dead weight, and every now and then I just get the faintest of little nods. But it's kiting left and right. So we'll just see what happens. So this is completely scuppered my plans of what to do. And I wish I had to wind that middle rod in now, because now there's probably a few fish feeding on the baited spot and I've got nothing on there. Whereas quite often from my knowledge of this water, when you get one bite, you quite often get 2 or 3. So I don't know if that was just unlucky timing or the fish physically saw me wind one rod in and thought, oh, it's a safe zone now. I don't know. But then again, they're not that clever, are they? So, ooh, it's woke up. It's woken up. And they're still going absolutely mad about 60 to 70 yards out in front of me. Well, this is my first session on the new Fulcrum reels. I've got to say they're very, very nice. The line lay's excellent. They cast really, really well. And this clutch is proving to be quite good if this, when this fish decides to rip off. Oh, it just keeps banging his head. I can't make out if this is a decent fish or not. It feels heavy when I've got it like this. And it just seems to be holding its own weight, but it has literally just come into this point, just doing absolutely nothing, so I don't know. All it's doing is nodding its head. Well, I've just seen it for the first time. It doesn't look massive. It looks like a nice... Oh, actually it looks a bit bigger then. It looks like a nice mirror. Quite a leathery fish. And this rod is on the white pop-up, just on a little, well, I call it hinge stiff rig. It's not, it's a hinge kind of soft rig with a semi-soft boom on it. Oh. Means my gilly is still spotting out. I'll have to net this one myself. Oh, now it decides to take a bit of clutch. Yeah, it didn't like the look of that net. It's quite wide, I've just seen him there. Quite wide and thick across the back. And it's just completely changed. Now it's absolutely tearing line off the clutch. So from doing absolutely nothing, now it's gone on a 15, maybe 20 yard run. That'll do.
Well, we're away again. I've, as discussed before, I was thinking about putting 2 more bags, and I've just done that. And this has been out there 5 minutes. I was just about to redo the 3rd rod, and I literally had it over my head, and I heard it ticking beside me because the alarm wasn't on. So yeah, I'm into another.
Well, look at this for a brace. It's crazy. We've had 4 hours of absolutely nothing, and then 2 bites within 10 minutes. And the best part about it is they're both 29s, again, exactly the same weight.
Yeah, exactly like last time, like you say, 24s and now 29s. So
exactly.
Yeah, a bit of commotion with my one. We didn't get the netting on film. It was literally, I was having a bit of trouble, and then Mark jumped in with the waders and managed to scoop it in the net. So yeah, we didn't get the netting on film, but here she is.
Yeah, it's certainly good fun down at B1 at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, it's finally, they finally sort of come over us. So
that's it.
Yeah, solid bags are doing the do for me, and that was the first one off the bait, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And it's not like we're fishing the same sort of areas. You know, you're 70 yards out, I'm 116 yards out, and there's got to be near 100 yards between us. So
yeah.
For 2 bites in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just weird. They must just come on the feed.
Mega.
Cool.
Let's get them back.
Yep. You got it? Oh! Yeah. Right. Just let him go back. Getting quite keen. All his weight is literally across his back, this one. It's a thick set fish. Let's let him go. I'll do.
There you go.
Well, happy with this one. Biggest one of the session at 33.2. Came not long after a recapture, after an inactive night of not a great deal happening. So I freshened up the spots, put some fresh rigs on, banged them back out to the area. Took me a good few casts to get it right. And this is the result. So it goes to show that if something's not quite right, it doesn't happen in the night. Get some fresh rigs out onto the spots, make sure everything's absolutely spot on. Put a bit more bait out, and this is the result. Now the hook came out in the net, which means it's very, very lucky that I landed it. I didn't even take any pressure off it. I just got the fish in the net, and the hook flew out and got itself caught in the net. So we'll call this one a bit of a lucky capture, really, because it did put up a good battle out in open water. So all in all, quite happy. I'm going to get the rods out because I've got another 2, maybe 3 hours left before I have to wind in. So we're happy with this. 3 fish in a session.
Well, this one's a bit lively. It's really tensing up, keeps sticking his fin up, so hopefully he'll stay still ready for this. Smallest one of the session, just over 22 pounds. But this probably ends my session now. I've got about an hour, hour and a half, probably max, before I've got to wind in. So I'm not going to bother putting the rod out. I'm just going to leave those other 2 rods fishing and pretty much call it a day. But yeah, really happy with the action I've had. And it's strange how they've come on to feed on my spot today when it's been quite slow up until now, but not complaining, happy enough. Well, it's time to pack up now. I'm pretty much packed down already. I've just got 2 rods left out, just hoping that one of them goes. But before we disappear, it's worth talking a little bit about bait, because me and Ben have had completely different approaches to bait and baiting and how we've done it. I've gone in with more or less a boilie approach. I have stole a couple of tins of sweet corn off you.
Yeah, kick him in the van, yeah.
Yeah, I just want a bit of yellow in there because the water's quite murky at the minute, so I just wanted to pick up their visual attention, as well as putting in plenty of smell profiles into the water. So I've been using a mixture of 3 boilies really. I've just sort of raided my freezer before I came out, and I'm using the cell from mainline because the cell is well, it's an awesome bait really. I'm sure this place has seen thousands upon thousands, in fact not millions of kilos of the stuff over the years. I'm also using one called Hybrid because that's what I've been using at my local syndicate, and I'm also using a prototype as well, like in its real strong smelling pink bait, and I've been mixing them all together in a bucket and probably crushing down 2/3 of them, just so there's plenty of crumb in the water and plenty of flavour going there, and there's not whole bait going into the lake all the time. And I bet I've used 4, maybe 5 kilo over the 48 hours, and then fishing boilie over the top of it. But I think your approach has been, well, completely different.
Yeah,
really.
look, I mean, it changed halfway through the session a little bit as well, only slightly, but yeah, classic sort of mix really of, to begin with was just hemp, sweet corn, a few little dashings of tiger nuts in there, and then I've got a load of soaked up Baitworks, Royal Marine and Cremino, and they were soaking in sort of boiling water just before I got here, so they get all soft, nice and mushy. Add those in sort of probably half and half really, so quite a lot of boilie. They're also sort of chopped in half as well, so it's all about leakage. And I was using just that to begin with, but then halfway through the session I did start incorporating a bit of matching boilie pellet, so again same flavours of the pellet and some normal pellet in there as well, so I was just sprinkling them in the bottom of the spod and then topping up with the older mix, and like you, sort of trying to work the swim a little bit every few hours, just literally 2 or 3 spoms over the top. Both fish I had was straight after spomming pretty much, so yeah, keep it working, and I've used about 5 kilos I'd say.
Yeah, so you've used about the same.
I mean, around the duration of it.
I mean, these lakes are completely different to my syndicates. You wouldn't, I mean, on syndicate lakes that I tend to fish, you tend to get the rods out, get the bait out and let everything settle for a little while, but here, there's that many fish in here and they are moving around and they're generally hungry. I don't think they're hungry at the minute because it's been fishing reasonably slowly.
It's been really tough, yeah.
Yeah, compared to what it can be, but I just don't think they're bothered about lead sitting in the water or spom sitting in the water or anything like that.
Yeah,
so no matter where they go, they're seeing lines and they're seeing pressure.
Yeah, I think it pays dividends to not, like you were saying, other waters you would sit and wait, but I think it actually pays not to do that. So I think the last thing I'd want to do is turn up and smack it all out at once, and just sit on it. Because like you say, I think that constant trail of attraction is what sort of draws them down really. Yeah,
exactly that. So it's been quite an interesting session because when we got here, the fish were showing reasonably close in from about 40 to about 70, 80 yards.
Yeah, they were,
They were like that all day yesterday, and me being me, I decided that the fish are always going to be in the centre and smashed them out to the centre. And in hindsight, yesterday that worked against me big time. You know, I picked one up on a zig, and in the evening I did pick one up off the baited area out there at 120 yards or whatever it is. But I think I literally just nicked a fish. Whereas in hindsight, yesterday I'd have been better off fishing closer in and nicking a few. And I think I'd have caught a few more. Whereas I think you're unlucky today because from what we've seen, the fish have moved out and they've drifted out to that centre. So,
oh, there was a bird.
Was it? So they've drifted out to that centre. So that's why I've picked the bites up today, and I think they've pretty much moved off where you've been, which is
I've seen the odd show, but like you say, nothing like yesterday.
No.
So I'm hoping just to sort of nick one right at the end now. Got some fresh bags out there. Again, I've been trying to sort of work the bags as well because quite often they go quite quickly, the bags. So recasting those every hour or so.
Yeah, I think that's been a pretty good tactic. So all in all, you come to Brasenose 1, you probably expect a few more fish than what we've had, but I'm not complaining with how tough it has been for what people have been telling us. I think we're quite happy with 6 fish between us and what we've had. So
yeah, no, 100%. It's been really enjoyable and sort of first time we've actually fished sort of next to each other as well. Little Barbie last night and all that, and
it was all right.
It's been good.
No, it's been awesome. So yeah, really pleased to catch a few. Really pleased to try out a few new items of kit that we've been using and get a few fish on the bank. Shame we couldn't have a 30 apiece, but
match them up again.
Yeah, I mean your fish would have been 34 full
we were saying that, weren't we? Yeah, it was very hollow.
But no, all in all, good session.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a different day ticket diary. You know, as I said before, this is going to be a regular thing, mostly with myself, but I dragged Ed along for this one. So yeah, dragged into linear. But yeah, if you like it, don't forget to hit a thumbs up if you did like the video, hit subscribe to see all future videos, and don't forget to hit the little bell button to not miss any future notifications. If the tactics we've sort of explained have been useful, let us know, or if you've got any tactics that you prefer, yeah, let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.